Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a purchaser pass. As you know, these were started by Samantha March and quickly popularized. I will leave her information down below, as well as the information for a bunch of different Instagram accounts that I follow in order to stay current on new makeup. If this sounds like a video that you're interested in watching, stick with me. We're going to get into it right now. So I don't think there was like tons of stuff that actually came out this week, or at least like caught my eye enough to talk about. So this video might be a little quicker than normal, thank goodness, because editing Heather will love that. Alright, the first thing that we're going to talk about is Catrice. Catrice Cosmetics is doing a Princesses and Disney Villains collab, and so of course like Disney has to touch everything, and they're creating these princess palettes which kind of look like the Too Faced Born This Way palette. Like they have that same kind of flow with the pan sizes. And then they have the villain palettes, which are 16 square pans. I'm of course drawn to the villains palettes because I am like Heart of Darkness, right? But the Maleficent palette and the Ursula palette both really call to me. I'm really interested in picking these up. I did message Catrice and they said that they're not coming to US stores until April of 2021, but then Trendmood posted that they're available now in stores, so I'm really not sure if they're supposed to actually be waiting or not. Like, I don't know what the deal is there. The princess palettes look like they have some pressed glitters in them, which I'm not a huge fan of. The villains palettes, it's possible that they have like one pressed glitter in them, but the Ursula one has all these like cool tone purples, which I was really into. And then the Maleficent palette is like, oh, where is it? Did I have the other picture of that one? Yeah, the Maleficent palette has like some grungy like gray greens and then like some neutrals in it. So definitely interested in checking them out. If they have like 2 or more pressed glitters in them though, I may actually skip over them because I really don't like pressed glitters. Like they really do annoy the crap out of me. So yeah. So I'm going to see if I can give those a try. That would be really interesting. Okay. The next thing I've actually already purchased, so purchaser pass, we're purchasing. And that is the At Forest Sight collection with Raw Beauty Kristi and ColourPop. Raw Beauty Kristi is like one of my favorite people to watch. When I first saw her, I just wasn't a fan, and I was like, eh. And it took me like a year to come back to her after my aunt like was like, you gotta watch this girl, she's hilarious. And when I watched her again, I was like, oh my god, she is hilarious. And the funny thing is, in one of her videos, she makes this comment about, like, she's not the person that you, like, love watching on the first go-around, but, like, eventually you'll, like, come to love her. And I was like, oh, girl, you're right. That's exactly what happened. But I've been watching pretty much everything she releases ever since. And she released this really cute collection. She has a 12 pan palette, 4 Super Shocks, 2 lip glosses, and 3 liners. The liners are really, really pretty. I think I actually talked myself out of them. I was thinking about both the yellow and the green liners, but at the last minute, I was like, you know what? No. And so I ended up skipping over those. The Super Shock shadows. Okay, if somebody comes bursting through the ceiling into my room here, video might get cut short. I don't know. There's 4 Super Shock shadows, and they are really pretty, but they're the Ultra Glitter formula, which is sort of like a slippy glitter topper kind of shade, as opposed to like a really pigmented, like bold shade. And I do have some that are that formula already from ColourPop, and they're just not my favorite. So I ended up passing over those, even though I think that like mossy green to gold duochrome was a really interesting color. I ended up passing over those. Then they had 2 Luxe glosses. I have not tried the Luxe glosses yet, but I do have a lot of colors that are like this. My lip collection is actually kind of overflowing the area that I have to store it in right now, so I really don't need any additional lip colors. But that palette, I was like, girl, sold. So I ended up picking that one up, and I'm really excited to get it. I'm really excited to give it a try. Okay, the next thing is Beautylish is launching another Wayne Goss palette, and I thought there were 2 different palettes, but I only see pictures of one, and it has like a blue, a peach, and then 4 gray black tones, and then 2 eye pencils. And he does like the traditional wooden pencils, which I'm not a huge fan of because I will literally stab myself in the eye with them. This palette is boring. The 4 shades that are like the grays, I feel like 2 of them look identical. And so on the eye, by the time you blend them all together, they're just gonna look like the same. You could have taken 2 of those colors out and made like a black, a gray, and then 2 other colors. You didn't need so much redundancy. And in a 6-pan palette, I feel like the redundant nature of the colors is so, like, it's screaming at you how redundant it is. And then you have like a peach and a blue. Hooray. So I'm going to pass over this. I feel like nothing that he has done so far has really called to me. And I'm not sure if that's because he's trying to cater to like an older population, because I feel like he talks about that so much in like the posts and stuff that he does. I don't know, but this is not for me. Okay, the next thing is just kind of an exciting thing that I saw, and I wanted to talk about it, and I figured this would be a great time to talk about it. Ulta is going to be coming into Target. So similar to how JCPenney has Sephora inside their stores, Ulta is now going to be inside of Target. I'm curious to see what brands are going to end up there, and what brands might get passed over. I'm sure things like ColourPop are going to be in there because they're so, you know, well known. But it'll be interesting to see if they're going to do like high-end brands, regular brands. Are they going to keep the points? Like if you buy it through Target, are you going to keep your points? Are you going to be able to spend your points there? Because I know the Sephora at JCPenney is like very different from the Sephora not at JCPenney, and the like promotions and returns and stuff, it's like a whole headache if you have to do a return or an exchange. So I'll be interested to see how this all plays out as it's developing, but that is set for 2021, I believe. Okay. The next thing is the Huda Beauty Gold palette, and it's again another one of these 9-pan palettes. Okay, the packaging on the outside is pretty. It looks like a little like slice of agate. I think that's really pretty. But the inside of it just looks very boring to me. And I don't know, like I'm just... Like the first 4 shades on the swatches look really pretty. You've got 2 shimmers, you've got a light peach, and you've got a dark brown. I think that as a quad is very, very pretty. But by the time you put all the rest of it together, it just looks really redundant and boring. And I feel like I already have this 100 times over, so I don't need it. Alright. The next thing to talk about is Morphe is collabing with Lisa Frank. Now, I don't know how many people remember, I think it was Glamour Dolls that did the GoFundMe for the Lisa Frank collab, and they had all these different tiers, so you could spend anywhere from like, I think it was like $5 or $10 up to like $120, $130, something like that. And then, you know, however much you put in, you were going to get like that much product back. And they were talking about making palettes and single eyeshadows and blushes and brushes and all kinds of stuff. And nothing ever happened. That was 3 years ago, and it still hasn't been produced. I don't think anybody's getting their money back. And now to see them collab with Morphe is just kind of like awkward, because yeah. So I'm not going to be touching any of this with a 10-foot pole, because I don't want to invite any of that drama into my life. None of this looks that exciting. I loved Lisa Frank as a kid, but that was kind of like such a shady move, and I don't know if it was shady on Lisa Frank's behalf or if it was shady from Glamour Dolls, but either way, bad taste in my mouth, not happening. Alright, the next thing is these cute little petite fours from Viseart. I like Viseart. Their shadow quality is nice, but it's not like, oh my god, you have to go buy this or your life is over kind of nice. It's just like, it's not bad, you know? And so I feel like bummed out when I see these palettes, because none of them ever call me enough to be like, you must purchase this right now, you know? So for me, these are going to be a pass. I also think these are incredibly light, so I'm not sure how well they're going to work on deeper skin tones. Or I feel like these colors are either going to blend away to nothing, or they're just going to look very ashy. Sydney Grace is going to be collabing with Temptalia for spring 2021. There's going to be 3 12-pan palettes. One will be the Quintessence palette as an ode to the sky and space. One will be the On the Horizon palette featuring grungy earth neutrals, and a Radiant Reflection palette which will be colorful jewel-toned rainbow. I think this is really cool. Temptalia, of course, is like a repertoire for so many different you know, formulas and colors and what's a dupe for something else, and they have the foundation matrix and so many different things that are very helpful. So I feel like Temptalia is very knowledgeable about different makeup products and things like that. So I'm curious to see what this is gonna look like. Certainly the sky and space sounds like really exciting. Like that could be some really cool, like different wild colors. The grungy earth neutrals, depending on how neutral it is versus how grungy it is, I might be interested in that. If it's pulling more like bronzy greens and stuff like that, I'd be interested in that. And then the colorful jewel tone rainbow, it depends if it's just like a brights palette or if it's like truly something different and special. So I'm definitely interested in seeing more about this, but I need to see more before I make a decision. Divina Cosmetics has started releasing some sneak peeks for their Star Chaser collection, which is launching on Black Friday. I think, it's hard to tell, but I think these are two different shades that they're posting about, and they both look so pretty. One is like a pink to lime to like lilac, and the other one just like screams pink. This might even just be one color. I really, oh my gosh, there's so many colors that come in their Divina shadows that it's hard to tell for sure. But this is really pretty, and I can't wait to see more information to help me make a decision. Alright, Disney Fantasia. I don't know, is Disney going broke? Because they're collabing with a lot of people recently. They're collabing with Spectrum Cosmetics to make the Fantasia collection. I hated Fantasia as a kid. Like, that was not the movie for me as a kid. Didn't like it, but that's okay. There's a 12-piece brush set for $89, an 8-piece eye brush set for $48, a sorcerer's hat bag, which is $69, the magic broom brush, which is $28, and the whole bundle of everything, which is $140. They also, like, at the same exact time, released this, like, Frida Kahlo collection, which has a handful of brushes and a bag, it looks like. I haven't tried anything from Spectrum, so I don't really know like their quality. I'm sure it's good based on the prices that I'm seeing here. The actual like product is pretty because it's like blue brushes with like gold stars stamped onto it. But it also kind of looks like something you could get on AliExpress, and so for me the price is gonna put a stop to me like considering purchasing this. I think it's pretty and I like what they did, but I don't care about Fantasia. I don't know this brand very well, so for me it's the last thing that I'm gonna leave us on is kind of a cliffhanger kind of thing, and it is this picture right here, which if you don't know is Manny MUA. He has his own makeup brand called Lunar Beauty, and he's released this picture as a sneak peek of his upcoming collection. My understanding is that it's going to be like neutrals, but I don't know if it's going to be more like cool toned neutrals, in which case like, girl, I'm listening. It's hard to kind of tell from the picture because there's so much like artificial lighting and stuff here that's like pulling very blue. It looks like there's gonna probably be another lip gloss set, just because he has like a super glossy lip going. I'm really curious to see what this ends up looking like. I'm very, very interested. And then once I see the actual products, it'll help me make a decision as to whether or not I'm going to purchase that. So, with that said, that is everything that we're going to talk about for this week. I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What are you guys looking at picking up this week? Are you picking up anything this week? Are you waiting till Black Friday? Definitely let me know, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye!